Now, when you think of a painter, you might think of brushes, turpentine, an easel and a smock, but Perth man Owen Bell has found a new way to create the art without the mess. Digital painting uses a computer and a stylus to create highly realistic pictures that only exist in the virtual world. The high-tech pictures are a far cry from Owen Bell's earlier creations, the paint and pencil illustrations of Thomas the Tank Engine. Claire Nichols has the story.
I love being able to create something from nothing. I start off with a blank screen, just like a blank canvas, and especially working digitally, I still can't get my head around the fact that it doesn't exist. I mean, as a painting, it doesn't exist. It's all ones and zeros. You know, it's binary code. How magical is that?
They're intricate and highly detailed paintings.
I literally paint every feather at a time, and I love getting as much detail in there as possible.
Owen Bell spends hours each day in his Fremantle studio painting animals from around the world. Using a stylus and tablet instead of a brush and easel, he creates pictures so realistic, many confuse them with photographs.
Even I get fooled sometimes. I mean, that might sound a little bit sort of like I'm blowing my own trumpet, but it's true.
After training at art schools in Perth and England, Owen Bell first found work as a commercial artist in the UK. But it was a lucky break in the early 80s that saw him take artistic control of one of the most beloved characters in English literature. Owen Bell redesigned Thomas the Tank Engine to make the illustrated character from the original books look more like the model on TV. And for nearly a decade, he drew Thomas and his friends for books, jigsaw puzzles, posters and more.
It ranged from Wedgwood sets to jigsaw puzzles to books you can read in the bath made out of plastic. I mean, it was ridiculous. This is the Japanese version. It was very interesting, but it was very hard work because it was all hands-on stuff, and because they're machines, it all had to be technically pretty accurate, and it was a very laborious thing to do. But a lot younger then, I could do that kind of stuff. Now I couldn't do it now. There's a whole bunch of little press-out characters, and I'm one of them. You know, I felt quite privileged to be working on it, to be honest, because it was, you know, very iconic, especially in the UK. It was a good gig. Didn't get to meet Ringo, unfortunately. Never mind.
He no longer draws engines. Instead, Owen Bell finds solace in the natural world. Throughout his career, he's painted birds and animals for the World Wildlife Fund. He originally worked with paints and pencils, but after playing around with early versions of computer painting programs, he eventually made the decision to move to digital art full-time.
But it got to the point where my eyesight wasn't good enough anymore for me to be able to do it with traditional media, because I didn't wear these then, I hasten to add. I just had glasses with fold-down magnifiers. I had a big magnifying glass there. I had sort of arc lights down here. It was ridiculous, and I was getting blinding headaches, and ultimately I wasn't getting the kind of detail I was wanting. So I thought, well, this is the time to make the change, and I'm just going to have to convince the people in Switzerland that I'm not messing around with their photographs, I'm actually painting the things.
Just last month, Owen Bell was rewarded for his intricate work. On a whim, he'd entered an international digital art competition and was surprised to discover he'd won first prize.
The results were published on the 16th of March, and 16th came and went, and I hadn't heard anything, and I thought, oh well, just like lotto tickets, waste of time, you know, why would I bother? So anyway, I went on to the Corel Facebook page, and they said that, and somebody had asked, where are the winners being announced? And they gave a link. So I went there. There was my picture of the reddish eagle at the top of the page.
Owen Bell puts his obsessive attention to detail down to the fact that he has Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism he first heard about as an adult.
I heard a thing about it, oddly enough, on ABC Radio, probably Norman Swan or something like that, about Asperger's, and I was sitting there, it was like, this program's about me.
He diagnosed himself before having that diagnosis confirmed by a doctor and psychiatrist.
So I'm well up on the spectrum, but I'm not full-blown. I like to put it this way, I'm not Rain Man, I'm sort of light shower man. I don't look upon it as a disability. In my own experience, it's actually a gift because it allows me to do what I do the way that I do it because of my obsession with detail and my ability to be able to focus so strongly on one thing for hours and hours and hours without sort of wandering off allows me to do what I do.
And so Owen Bell can sit for hours each day, creating perfect reproductions to be admired around the world.
It takes me to another place. It's like meditation. I'm useless at yoga and any of that kind of stuff where you've got to sit cross-legged and do this. I can't do that. But if I'm working on a piece of artwork with a lot of detail in it, and the more detail the better, I sort of take myself off somewhere and it's quite a calm place to be.
Owen Bell, a man with an amazing gift, Claire Nichols with that report.